Sound. Now we got the sound. Now we got more sound. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome. It's Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Ghost here. We are hosting DMJ Room Choice of Weapon Season 2.0 Glitch. That's right, 2.0 Glitch. And we're in round 5 at Croix B tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Now, juicy spin. Juicy spin. The spin is... There's no qualifying tonight. We are slightly late due to my fault. I had technical difficulties, so we are going to actually start this race, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll catch up on all the other normal important information that we normally do as the race progresses. So you guys ready? The grid's set. So the way this is going tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is that the grid is based off reverse order of the standings. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have our last place guys in the standings right up front to start this race. So we're going to have the top drivers starting in the back here tonight. 50-minute endurance race as opposed to the normal 40-minute endurance race. Going to change the strategies. We got Joe coming in with the big time like and the share. Good luck, my dude. Have some fun tonight, my man. And yeah, I really hope you all enjoyed the race. I hope the stream is fixed. I believe we've got this all sorted now. So fingers crossed. Let's get racing, shall we, ladies and gentlemen? There we go. 10 seconds till race time, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that being said, let's grab the juicies. Let's make sure our settings are all set. And it's race time. So, starting on pole, ladies and gentlemen, is Bandit, followed by Heathen, followed by ATB, LJ in 4th, Bar in 5th. Betcher will be starting in 6th, Paul's not here. Nolander will be starting in 7th, Spec in 8th, Badass 9th, Jake 10th. Ghost will be 11th, and Sparky, who's our current championship leader, will be starting in 12th place here today. So, rock and roll, guys and gals. We're going to be on board with Bandit for this race start, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's see how Bandit handles his very first pole position tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the broadcast. And we're off. Lights are green, and Bandit got a really slow start here, and Bandit is actually the only driver here today, ladies and gentlemen, in another car that's not a Porsche. So we literally have 11 Porsches in the field and 1 4C here tonight. So let's see how this 4C does. He did really well in the corner there, and we're off. He's in first place. LJ is taking 2nd. Bandit staying in 3rd place. A good run by Bandit there. We got ATB in 4th. Bar in 5th place. We've got Betcher in 6th, ladies and gentlemen. Nolander up 7th, 8th, fighting Spec 4 position here. We're going to stick with this. A little bit of a bump and rub there. Oh, and 3 wide as Betcher's making a move on Spec and Nolander, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. DMJ at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful clean race start. No incidents in turn 1. And look at these guys go. Look at them go. Woo! It's race time. Let's go. All right, so Spec 1 is dropped down to 9th place. We got Jake in behind him there in 10th. In 11th is Badass, and in 12th is Sparky. So all our standing leaders are in the back of the pack right now, and Heathen trying to run away with this here, but LJ is all up in his business. Now, we did see LJ last week, ladies and gentlemen, start in round 3 of the series, and he won with fastest lap and pole position. Now, obviously, there's not going to be the bonus points for pole position this week due to the fact that it's a reverse grid based off standing, so there won't be the bonus 2 points for that pole position. So the fastest lap bonus is ever so important tonight for these drivers that are really chasing up the standings. LJ is our fastest mover in the standings here. After 2 races, he's put himself in the top 10 already. So by the end of the season, if he continues to put himself on the podium here, he may have a shot at finishing on the podium here for the season. And see if he's got it. Let's see if this young man's got it in him. We got ATB sitting in 3rd place here. Him and Bandit making some contact there. Oh boy. Just a tap there by Bandit on the edge of ATB there. Did we get a replay there? We do. Hey, everything is working. So, Bandit going in and just a little late on the brakes and just the slightest of taps on ATB there, putting him into the wall there. So, really unfortunate incident there as ATB is all the way to the back of the pack there now. And Bandit's going to have to try and sort out how to give that position back to him here somehow, some way. But it is a racing instant, ladies and gentlemen, and we move forward. So LJ making a move for the race lead here, and he's going to get it done at the end of the straightaway, coming into the first corner. But ooh, he's going to take a lot of that first corner, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to give him a penalty. He will most certainly pick up a penalty here, and there it is, 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. So the deal is that he has to burn that penalty off before that corner on the next lap. If he carries that penalty to corner 1, he will receive an additional penalty after the race as well by our race stewards here. So, and he's also not allowed to pass while burning that penalty. You can see him taking it right now off the racing line. He's going to give that position back up to Heathen, and he'll just try to catch Heathen back up. So LJ in second. We got Nolander up into P3 here. We got Ghost, who has absolutely gained positions here. He's gone from 11th place to 4th place, so Ghost has quickly moved up the field. So has Jake in 5th. So has Spec 1 in 6th. Betcher here in P7. We've got Bar in P8, and you see Badass is all up on the back end of Bar here, and Sparky's just waiting now to see what's going to happen. Badass is going to try and get this done on the outside, as Bar is not going to give him that easy position. And he's going to get it done. Badass is going to make that move on the outside, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely spectacular job by Badass. And Sparky's going to try and follow him through here so we can get the inside line coming into this long sweeper here, St. Croix B. This is a great racetrack for racing, ladies and gentlemen. We're seeing it here tonight, side by side, around a tough corner. Badass just catching a wall there. It's going to slow him down a little bit. So Sparky gaining position as well on Bar there. So here we go, back on board. That move by Badass, great move by Badass here so far tonight, ladies and gentlemen, on the outside as well. So getting a little bit later on the brakes there, getting that car to turn in, getting that car to work for him, just catches that wall. And then we see Sparky right here coming just in behind Badass saying, thanks mate, I'm going to follow you through here. And side by side with Bar all the way around this long sweeping corner here and grabbing that position from Bar. So great job by these drivers here tonight. Great battling so far, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back up front, see what's going on up front here. We have Heathen in P1, and Heathen has a little bit of a gap here on Ninja currently, almost 2 seconds. So Heathen's got a little bit of space currently. We got Ninja in second, but Nolander is chasing. He's in 3rd place, just outside of that slipstream range, ladies and gentlemen. Ghostwiper right there in P4, chasing these guys down with Jake right behind. Again, last season's champion, ladies and gentlemen, and boy oh boy, I was talking with Jake a little bit earlier this week, and he's awfully determined to get back up front on these podiums here, so we'll see what Jake's got tonight. We got Betcher in P7. He is chasing Spec 1 down. Doug coming in with the big thumbs up. How's everything looking, guys? Everything's looking fantastic on my end. I hope it's fantastic on your end. Everything's looking buttery smooth today. Digging it. We're digging it. We got Badass here in P8. We got Sparky in P9. Bar in P10, as we've seen losing a couple spots there with that battle between Badass and Sparky. We got ATB back up into P11, and we got Badass here, Bandit in P12. So I'm not sure if Bandit made a mistake or if he just let up off through the field and let ATB back by there, but yeah, those positions are corrected there as well, as ATB is now back up in front of Bandit. So Heathen with the race lead, ladies and gentlemen, and driver we don't see in the race lead here very often at DMJ, looking very good here so far. So go Heathen, get some, brother. So far, we have seen a different race winner in all 4 rounds of DMJ Season 2 here in North America side. So are we going to see a 5th different winner here tonight? Wouldn't that be something, ladies and gentlemen? It just goes to show how hungry these drivers really are. Method coming in with that thumbs up as well. Much love, Method. Much love. Hope everybody is well. And just a big positive day today, ladies and gentlemen. And while we have everybody here viewing, I want to give a massive shout out to LJ, our 2nd place driver here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to tell you why. I woke up this morning, I had a notification on my cellular phone this morning, and LJ donated 50 USD to GT45 Gaming PayPal. Let's get a hashtag LJ up in the YouTube and Facebook chats, you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Seriously, that is super what's the word I'm looking for? Generous of LJ to do that. Super appreciated, and really warmed my heart this morning. Really put me in a great mood this morning. And, you know, we did some test streaming last night as well, ladies and gentlemen. As we see Nolander making a move on LJ here as well. So Nolander getting a job done coming into that first corner. We'll get back to that in a second, ladies and gentlemen. We got to watch this. That was fantastic. So you can see this get set up by Nolander in this back straightaway here. So Nolander is in that slipstream. He's running. He's riding the back end there. And he's going to pull out right at the last minute there, get that inside track. He's going to hold the LJ off that optimal line around the corner. Going to force him outside. Going to give him the position. So great job there by Nolander to grab that position off of LJ for P2. But it does, you guys really killed it for me last night. The stream was not in the greatest of quality last night. You know, it wasn't looking very good. It was choppy, and you guys stuck it out. You come and hang out with me, and I really appreciate all the support. I do apologize for the lack of content, but we're back. And what better way to come back with a beautiful DMJ Round 5 race, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get to it. Off in fourth place is Jake and Ghost Viper battling for position here. We're going to mark this because obviously Jake has made a move on Ghost here somewhere along the way. So we're going to watch this battle. We got that replay marked. We're going to get back to that. You see Spec now on the back of this battle as well, taking a look at Ghost Viper here. So Spec's just going to sit tight. He's not going to make that move quite yet. So let's go take a look at that pass by Jake on Ghost Viper. Ah, that's not far enough back. So let's go further. It was in before the corners here, and the Ghost was actually responding is what we're seeing here coming up the bridge. So, great job by Jake to grab P4 there, ladies and gentlemen. Moving forward, we go into P5 is Ghost Viper Gaming. We got Spec 1 here in P6, ladies and gentlemen. Betcher in P7 looking good here. Sparky up into P9. And Badass just getting the job done on Sparky there. So these two have been battling here a little bit here, progressively around the last lap and a half here as well. You see Badass grabbing that position off Sparky Boomman, who is our current standings leader at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get to that. I'll give you guys a little heads up on that. Yes, it is. It's working, Doug. Absolutely. The stream's looking pretty good. Let me know how everything sounds, ladies and gentlemen. If we need to make any adjustments, please do let me know so we can make them for you guys. We just want the best viewing experience for all the fans out there. Great battling here between all the drivers. So let's get back up front. Let's go take a look at what's going on. We got Heathen. Oh, getting really wide there. That is going to most certainly probably cost him P1 here. He does a great job of gathering that Porsche up, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like no damage as well. So, great job by Heathen, but now he's going to have the dirty tire effect here, so that's going to cost him in the next 2 or 3 corners here. But he does manage to hold first place. He does lose the time. We see that time dripping. 1.2, 1.20, 1.15, 1.13, 1.1. We're going to be in slipstream range here real soon. So now Nolander and LJ battling here. Not really battling, they're not pushing each other right now. It looks like they're kind of trying to work together to catch up to Heathen in first place. You've seen LJ just back off a little bit there, give Nolander the line there, not to lose any one of these two drivers' time. So we're already seeing some strategy coming into play. Again, ladies and gentlemen, 15 minutes tonight. So an extra 10 minutes on the race, and these guys didn't get to qualify. So these guys got put on the grid in their respective spots, and these guys got to fight it out here tonight. So. And Jake and Ghost are still battling here, and Spec is just sitting behind, kind of letting these guys wear each other out. He's just chilling right now. He's not letting these guys get away from him, but he's also not sticking his nose in there. He doesn't need to get involved in that. He's just chilling. He's going to let these guys battle it out. And they're having a battle. Boy, is Ghost and Jake having a battle here right now, ladies and gentlemen, as we're on with Ghost Viper here right now, as we... As he's going to make that move on the inside there in the sweeper, but Jake is still there. Jake's like, buddy, I ain't done with you yet. Just hold on. Let's see what Jake does here to respond. Is Ghost Viper taking P4. Jake's going to look for the cutback. Is Jake going to get the job done side by side? They're drag racing. Jake's on the outside, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to back off again. Spec taking a look inside of Jake here now, ladies and gentlemen. So P4, P5, and P6 having a great battle here very early on in this race. Now, I do suspect that we're going to see, we typically see one stop in these races. We may... Oh, awesome. Thank you for the information, Doug. I appreciate you, my guy. And we got a battle here. We have got ourselves a battle. Ghost is now in the middle of a Porsche sandwich, and he is the Porsche meat, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's jump on with Spec here, as he's now going to try and grab 2 positions. He gets Jake. He's going to get Ghost. Is he going to hold it? Ghost is looking for the cutback. Can Ghost get on the power and stay inside of Spec coming into the next corner here? Let's get back out to our TV crew here. Let's see what's really going on here. Ghost is responding, but is he going to be able to hold this coming into the corner? No, Spec's got the inside line, but this is a pretty easy corner to go 2x2, and you can see this, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a fantastic race for 2x2 racing here all night, and Spec and Ghost now fighting. Jake tried to stick his nose in there, but Ghost covering him off there. 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen, coming down the S's to the bridge. 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen. Unbelievable by these drivers. Wow, and they survived. Spec on the outside. This is a dangerous hill, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody makes it through. So GVG Jake now moving up into P3. Spec moving up into P4. Goes to P5. And who do we see in the background but Mr. Betcher sitting right there in P6 saying thank you very much, guys, for that battle. I just caught up. So now Betcher is up in the groove here with these drivers. We do have Badass here in P7, still with Sparky in tow in P8, and they're just working to try and catch those guys up. ATB is just right in 10th place. He looks like he's got some good pace here, so... Sorry, Heathen in 10th here. I'm not sure if he's made a pit or if he made a mistake. What happened to poor Heathen? Alright, so P10 is Heathen, bar down into P11, and Bandit's coming in for, looks like a pit stop here. Again, we do it. Bandit is brand new to league racing, ladies and gentlemen, brand new to the series as well. So he's here getting that time, getting that experience here this year, and we love to see the new racers here at DMJ, ladies and gentlemen. So by the end of the season, he's going to be just absolutely enjoying himself, I'm sure, if he's not already doing so himself. It's tough when you first start out because you're a little bit off pace from a lot of the guys that are out in front of you, and you don't know the tracks as well, you don't know the ins and outs of the game as well, but you know, he's been taking the time, he's been asking for the help, and I've been watching the improvement from Bandit each race, so it's fantastic to see, and by the end of the season, he's just going to be proper racing with these guys, I think, and he'll be obviously enjoying that as well, but and today is just car choice. Tough car. 4Cs is a very tough racetrack for 4C, obviously due to top end speed. So hello Anthony, how you doing, my dude? Stream's looking awesome today, my G. Hey, a little bit of work. We had a massive technical failure actually 15 minutes before race start. I actually lost everything, but we did a hard reset on everything, and everything's good to go. So yeah, we're rocking and rolling, baby. GVD Jake here in P3, we got Spec in P4, we've got Ghost Viper in P5, we've got Betcher in P6, Sparky now up into P7, has gotten ahead of Badass, who's dropped down to P8, ATB here now in P9 as well, and he's not that far off those guys, so we still have possibly 2 rounds of pit stops. I don't know if these drivers can actually stretch this out into a one-stop race. I don't know if these cars are good enough on fuel to actually allow for that to happen here, so anybody's game here tonight, but LJSuperninja in the lead. Currently on fastest on track though is GVG Jake with a 208.985, and again, very, very important 2 points here, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, with the fastest lap, there is no pole position points tonight because it was a reverse grid based off the championship standings. So, yeah. We do have a yellow flag here up in front of Ninja. We see Bandit just off in the corner there, making a little bit of a mistake. Tough race for Bandit here tonight. I know that Bandit was very rushed to get home here today. He got caught up in some construction and was on the way home, so he frazzled. You're just running home and jumping in your rig. It takes a little bit to get dialed in sometimes. So, but he's there. He's still putting in his time, man. So huge respect. Spec moving up into P3. Let's go take a 20-second relook at everything here as all this is settling out. We have Jake there in P4, we've got Spec at P3, and Jake tried to get the job done on Spec there, but just a little wiggle by Jake there, and it was just enough for Spec to come out of the corner ahead of him there, so Spec is looking very strong here very early on tonight as well. And speaking of, we see our first pit stop with Spec 1, and we can see, well, you guys can see for yourselves. I'm not going to say it right now. Obviously, we'll show you guys that information in a little bit. But you can see the tires that he's coming into pit lane with and having pretty good pace. So, interesting. So, Spec is the first driver into pit lane. So, Nolander moves up into P2. Ghost Viper moves up into P3. But Jake right there battling. He's like, hey, remember me? I'm here. Hello. And these two have actually been battling all season long. Mr. Ghost Viper and Mr. Jake. These guys have just been fighting tooth and nail. And you can see GVG in front of both names. So they're very familiar with each other as well, ladies and gentlemen. 3 a.m. Bud gotta go, but looking great, sounding great as always. Mwah. Love you, Doug. Appreciate you coming in, my guy. Broadcast coming soon for you too, my man. Sparky up into P5 here. Betcher in P6. Badass P7. ATB in P8. Spec P9. Now over to the pit lane. Heathen P10. Bar in P11. And Bandit got her in the pit lane here. Having a rough night. So, Ninja is in first place. And LJ with a commanding lead here currently, ladies and gentlemen. About 4.6 seconds is what we're seeing on the screen, and growing. So he's got pretty good pace here on Nolander in second place, but Ghost is starting to close. And Ghost has a whole line of Porsches in company with him here as well. So we got Jake in P4, we got Sparky back here in P5, Apex Badass in P6 here. We got Betcher in P7. We've got ATB now up into P8. We got Spec just behind there chasing in P9. We got Heathen in P10, Bar in P11, and Bandit with something going on in the car. Crews are looking at it there in pit lane. So Ninja up the road here. And you see 3 drivers in behind LJ here coming into pit lane. So LJ opting to stay out. So Spec going for an extra early undercut. We have these 3 drivers going for a regular undercut, I'm assuming. And I'm assuming we'll see LJ in the next lap or 2. Hey, let's go, says Paul. Oh, so sad you can't be here tonight, my man. So there is Jake. Let's get a look at Betcher. And let's get a look at Ghosty. So he's already roaring out of pit lane here. So he's going to jump Jake in pit lane. So he's going to grab P7 there. Jake's going to come out in P8. And Betcher coming out just behind these guys in P9. So the only position change there was from between Ghost and Jake, as Ghost did leapfrog Jake in pit lane there. So, LJ, well up the road here, 5.2 seconds, still has to make a pit stop. Nolander, also well up the road here, needs to make his first stop. Sparky, now in P3, needs to make his first stop. Badass in P4 needs to make a stop yet as well. We also have ATB now up into P5 needing to make a stop. And with Spec in tow in P6, and Spec making the move right now. He's going to try and get him on the outside here. See ATB giving plenty of room there. And he's going to swoop right in behind Spec there. The ATB realizing that Spec has just come out of pit lane, he's most likely on fresher tires, and ATB just not battling with Spec there, just gave him a position, not costing either one of the 2 drivers any time. Really great decision making there by our 6th place driver at ATB, so great job by ATB. Just great racing awareness, and I've been saying it all series long, ladies and gentlemen, these drivers are really a special group of drivers. These guys are just on it, and no matter what the situation is, these guys are on it, so. LJ is cruising, though, but he is starting to lose time to Nolander in behind here. That gap is starting to close. So now I'm just kind of starting to make me question if some of these drivers are attempting to stop. And then we do have LJ coming into pit lane here. We have Nolander coming into pit lane. We've got Sparky coming into pit lane. We see Badass also coming into pit lane. So all our drivers, with the exception of ATB, now making a pit stop here. And ATB may have pit after the incident potentially as well on lap 2 there. So let's just get through our field here as we have Ninja here. We have Nolander. ATB just pulling in. We'll get on the Sparky here first. ATB has yet to pull into his pit box here. See him grabbing some gasoline in that Porsche 911 RSR. So again, ladies and gentlemen, all of the drivers opting to go with that Porsche tonight, with the exception of Bandit Zeke, who decided to go with that 4C. And obviously the 4C is not like a St. Croix B today, because it is in pit lane with some complications at the moment. The crew is looking at that car. Looking good, racers. Top comms, Tim. Hey, much love, Paul. Always appreciate you hanging out even when you can't be on the track with the boys. Vegas Paul, ladies and gentlemen, up in chat, wishing the boys good luck. Stuck at work today, so, but hey, he's got a cool job. He's in a pretty cool place. Don't blame him. Not the worst way to miss a race where he is, that's for sure, ladies and gentlemen. So, Nolander in P3, but you see GT Jake is really starting to close in on him here. So, GT Jake starting to put in some work here. Got Ghost Viper in P5, and you see Ghost getting all kinds of squirrely coming around that corner there. You see Sparky just backing off there. He's going to get a good run on Ghost here. So, to see if Sparky can make this go here. So this is what it looks like from Sparky's point of view. As you can see, 3rd and 4th place are also battling, but we have Ghost Viper. He's still right there. He's on the outside. Sparky's semi-defending here. He's not full defending. He's just making sure that these guys realize he's not going to give up that easy pass. But Ghost coming in with the cutback. Is Ghost going to get it done? And Badass looking to follow through as well, ladies and gentlemen. What a great battle we have going here by all three of these drivers here today. See Badass now going inside of Ghost here behind Sparky. Going to try and get that position on Ghost. He has the position. Apex Badass moving up into P6. You see Ghost tucking in behind. Sparky now coming around. Badass getting a little bit of a wider Apex there, but Ghost not being able to take advantage, get that inside line. So he's going to give Badass a push. Sparky, a really good exit there too, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see there by the gap he pulled, but you can see these two drivers are really starting to pull in here. And the trick here at St. Croix B really is to get a hold of that whole curb, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to get this back into the right camera angle here. So let's get back to our field. We have Spec 1 now in the race lead, 1.5 seconds ahead of teammate LJSuperninja, who is in second place. We got GVG Jake in third place here, chasing those two drivers down as well. We got Nolander sitting in P4. Nolander's having a fantastic race here tonight. Sparky in P5. We got Badass here in P6. We got Ghost in P7. And we all know Ghost Viper, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Mr. Ghost Viper Gaming in the house here, doing quite well, sitting second overall in our standings here coming into round 5. We have Heathen sitting in P8. We've got Betcher in P9. We've got Bar in P10. We've got ATV in P11. And Bandit's still getting those guys taking a look at that car there. So, let's jump on board with our race leader and let's do a little onboard run around St. Croix B. So this is what it looks like on LJ's right now. LJ's trying to catch Spec. He hasn't lost Spec. You can still see him there, but you can see behind LJ, these two drivers don't really have anybody too close behind. And then we've got Jake here in tow, third place, and he's got Nolander trying to chase him down in P4. Got Apex Badass in P5, but we are going to go back on with our race leader here. We're going to actually do an actual onboard. And this will be a lap around St. Croix B with our current race leader, Spec 1, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to shut my audio off. Please enjoy the sounds of the game and enjoy the lap. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen, an on-board lap at St. Croix B with our current race leader, Spec 1. We have 23.5 minutes remaining here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I gotta tell you, these guys have been racing hard, but we're at the point in the race now where everybody's just settled into their strategies, everybody's settled into their paces, and drivers are trying to catch the next driver ahead. You can see Sparky thought about making a move there on Badass, but you just see him back off and tuck you back in behind, and by doing that, I gave Badass a little bit of a push in the slips from a slipstream push to bump draft, and it gained up the time on Nolander, so now Sparky's in Badass's slipstream, which has pulled him back up to Badass, so now all three of those drivers have caught up to each other. So you can see Badass giving Nolander a push here around the corner. Just be like, hurry up, mate, we gotta get going, man. And I think Badass is just gonna make the move here. He's going to take that outside line. No, Nolander is defending quite well here, actually. Nolander is not going to give that up easily, as obviously he doesn't want to give up the position. Much love, Bandit, brother. Much love, brother. And Badass is going to lose out there. He's going to get P5, give up P5 to Sparky Boomman there as well. So let's take another look at that there. That was really unfortunate there for Badass. Let's go a little further back. He went to make the move there on Nolander, and he just lost the car a little bit on the curb there. He just got a little too deep into that curb, and it just unsettled his race car there, and cost him a position there on Sparky Boomman, some time on Nolander. But Badass is a quick racer. We got Ghost Viper here in P7. We skip Betcher here in P8. So Betcher's cruising. You can see all the Apex guys having their names on the back of their car there. Absolutely love that little touch. We got Bar 27 here as well, cruising very nicely in P9 here, so ATB down to the P10, Heathen in P11, and again Bandit. It sounded like the car is the broken. So I think that the Bandit has retired from the race here tonight. It's unfortunate. We see that though. It happens, ladies and gentlemen. Race cars break. You see LJ starting to close that gap on Spec now. LJ doesn't want to let Spec get any further ahead here, so LJ is going to start to push the issue here, I think, maybe a little bit. So let's go through this a little more thoroughly here. So we have RR Spec 1 being, he drives for Rockefeller Racing, ladies and gentlemen, of course fellow teammate of the host here as well. And again, same thing with LJSuperninja, part of Rockefeller Racing as well. And I assure you these guys will race each other when the time comes, and you'll see it firsthand. So don't worry about the team factor coming into play here, guys. All these drivers are driving for that championship. So the two Rockefeller drivers in the series currently leading the race here. We still have plenty of time to go though, 20.5 minutes. We got DMJ Jake here, an Apex driver as well, ladies and gentlemen. We got Sparky Boomman, who's here independently. So he just loves to race, and he is quick too, ladies and gentlemen. Sparky is a very quick driver. Obviously, he's currently leading the championship standings. We got Nolander here in P5. You can see Badass starting to catch back up to him here. And Nolander just representing his community, you know, Nolander Gaming, ladies and gentlemen. Badass going inside, getting the job done. Nolander just seeing him at the last second there, gave him enough space to make that move. So great job by Nolander to realize that Badass did make the move there. Badass gaining P5. So moving up into P5 is Apex Racing's Badass. And one of the officials over there at Apex Racing, ladies and gentlemen. And again, another quick driver. We got Nolander, like I said, we just went through Nolander. Of course, we have Ghost Viper, Mr. Ghost Viper himself, ladies and gentlemen, the headmaster over there at Ghost Viper Gaming. He just a massive, fantastic, great community over there, and of course, representing himself in his community. So that's what we love to see here. You know, we love to see all the communities coming in and representing. We got Betcher here for Apex Racing as well. We got Bar 27 coming all the way from the GTRC community, the Gran Turismo Racing community. It's another league that we do commentary for, and he's coming in and representing for them as well, ladies and gentlemen. ATB coming in representing as independent as well. Maybe a little bit of Ghost Viper Gaming. He's a big part of the Ghost Viper Gaming crew over there as well. We got Heathen here representing Apex Racing. We are missing Superman in the race here today. We are missing Vegas Paul. Superman also representing Apex, and Vegas Paul representing GT45 Gaming this season. So we love to see that. We really appreciate it. But again, just caught up at work here tonight, unable to make the race. I think we're going to move the series over to the weekend. Moving into season 3, we want to just give our drivers the best chance to make all the races as possible. I think the weekend's probably a safer bet. So I think we may move the series over to the weekends after season 2. We haven't quite decided yet. We'll see what comes up when season 3 comes rolling around. But you can see a battle here for P1 now. LJSuperninja has closed that gap on Spec, so LJ, you know, taking some time to save some tires and fuel behind Spec there for a few laps. Now he's got a little extra tire, he's got a little extra fuel, he can push a little more. So this is our view from our first and second place drivers here. This is Spec, who's now, I mean, leading the race is difficult, ladies and gentlemen. You have to set the pace for the race. If you're in the lead, you got to defend your butt off to keep the lead, and the ultimate goal is to try and get away from the driver. And we can see LJ's making the move here. He's going to get the move done on Spec, but you see Spec didn't really fight him there. He just held his line. Again, both these drivers are super smart race car drivers. They know when to battle and when not to battle. And right now, they feel is not the time to really battle too hard here. Again, we only have Jake just 5 seconds behind these guys. So too much battling will allow the drivers behind to catch these guys up quickly. We see Sparky just a little bit behind Jake there. We see Badass in P5 just behind Sparky. We got Nolander sitting here in P6. Ghost Viper in P7. We have Betcher in P8. ATB in P9. Bar P10. And Heathen in P11. And again, Bandit going to finish out the race here in P12 today, having to retire that race car. It's been an interesting race so far. It's amazing to see how these guys handle these reverse grid races like this based off the standings. So we put all the leaders in the back of the pack, and we put the guys who are at the bottom of the standings up in the front of the pack today, and we let them race. Now, we also added 10 minutes to the race. We yanked out qualifying. So that's going to add to the strategy, the fuel and the pit strategy, fuel and tire strategy for the pits for these guys as well. So been a lot of different kind of things that these guys have to think about coming into round 5 here. We see Spec going into pit lane, obviously Ghost Viper going into pit lane there as well. LJ opting again to stay out. Sparky moves up into P2. We got Badass now moving up into P3. We got Nolander still sitting in P4. Spec has come back out in P5. GVG Jake is in P6. Betcher's in P7. Ghost is in P8. So we did see some of these drivers make a very short stop. What these guys did as far as the stop goes, we're unsure, but we'll drop the information to you guys with just a few minutes left in the race. Let you guys take a look at tires, fuel, all that thing. Let's go through some of the race details, as obviously we didn't get the chance at the beginning because I was running behind the late, so we just fired the race up and got everything going. Obviously the drivers have schedules as well. We don't want to hold our drivers up either, so amazing group. They understood what was going on. They hung out, so do appreciate that, of course, from the drivers as we were having. Oh no, we lost Bar. Oh, and we have lost Bar in the race, ladies and gentlemen. That most certainly probably was a disconnect. Really unfortunate. Or it could have been storms, you could have lost power, it could have been numerous things, but it looks like Bar had a disconnect, so Bar dropping out of the race here very early on, so Heathen now in P10. We have our leader now coming into pit lane. What is Sparky going to opt to do? Sparky's going to stay out. Badass is also going to stay out. So LJ's going to lose those two positions. We got Nolander coming around here as well. Is Nolander going to also grab that? So Nolander grabbing position there currently on LJ. We're waiting for LJ to come out of pit lane here. And he has not come out of pit lane yet. So LJ dropping 3 spots here with this pit. You can just see grabbing that fuel right now. Just seen Spec 1 just coming out right now. So Spec 1's just going to get out ahead of LJ here. Just. So great timing by LJ. I think that was the plan from LJ, was to make sure that he came out right there with Spec 1, as if the drivers up front have to make another stop, that should give the race lead back to Spec 1, and then moving down the field for the rest of the drivers. So Jake in P6, we got Ghost in P7, Betcher is now making his final stop here in P8, we got ATB coming around here in P9, Heathen in P10, we lost Bar 27, which is really unfortunate. We may find out what happened there. It might have just been a regular DC, and if that's the case, then it could just be due to the host. We did a lot of testing yesterday for this race, so the hosting was one thing I wasn't concerned about. There's a stream I was concerned about, but that's looking beautiful tonight. So we're rocking tonight, baby. had to make some adjustments. We had to do some hard resetting on some equipment here, and of course we've upgraded some things to the equipment to allow the internet to run cleaner and more efficiently. So by the end of the week, we should be able to maybe even put this bad boy in 1080p for you guys. So we're seeing Ghost Viper a little bit behind here. It's going to be interesting to see how all this settles out for all our drivers. We got Heathen coming in here now as well, making his final stop here. So I guess the biggest question is, are we going to have a one stop by some of these drivers? I lagged out, had good connection too. Dang, sorry to hear, brother. Next week we'll have all hardline connections in, so it'll be on your guys' connections at that point. It could potentially be the fact that I'm hosting and I'm just not hardwired in today. You were looking real good, brother. You were looking real good. Lots of time left in the season. Don't panic. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. So, Spec, LJ, and Jake all getting across that finish line in those podium positions. We're down to 12 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. So, now this is when things are going to start getting serious. We're going to see these drivers start pushing. So let's see who's got what it takes to win. Currently, right now, between our top three drivers, all three have won one race this season, I believe. No, Jake has not won a race yet this season, actually. So Jake, out of these three drivers, will be the one driver to be our fifth different top podium finisher this season, if he can find his way around LJ and Spec 1. But Jake is definitely on a mission. You see it tonight. Got Badass right there as well. We got Ghost Viper. Him and Ghost Viper are battling for position here. So Badass in P5, Ghost Viper in P6. So Badass must have either just came out ahead of Ghost Viper or just in behind Ghost Viper. So let's go take a look. Let's go take a look since our replays are working. It looks like he came out just ahead of Ghost Viper. Ghost Viper went to make the move here on the outside, of course, having to take the long way around that corner and just not able to edge out Badass there. So battle on. Oh, Badass making contact with the wall there. That is most certainly going to give Ghost Viper a run here. As you can see, Ghost Viper getting around Badass on the outside. Ooh, Ghost Viper getting really wide there. This is tough side by side through this corner. It takes a lot of concentration and skill by the drivers, and we've seen great skill there by both our drivers. Badass and Ghost Viper side by side coming up this long run now. Nolander just behind these two. No real harm in this corner here. Lots of room for both these drivers to take that full speed. Nobody needing to let off there. Here we go. This pass can be made on the outside here, but Ghost Viper is setting up for a cutback. And he gets a run, but Badass just a little bit better on the exit there. So Badass is good to tuck back in front of Ghost Viper. So Badass still maintaining that P5 on Ghost Viper here, but Ghost Viper is not going to give that up easily. He's going to continue to apply that pressure. Ghost Viper getting a great line around that corner. He's going to have a great run on Badass here. Badass is semi-defending. Ghost is going to opt to take the outside line here. Badass is making Ghost basically choose where he's going to put that car. Let's get back up to the front here. We have Spec 1, 1.1 seconds ahead of second place LJSuperninja. He is 3.8 seconds ahead of GVG Jake in third place, who's 9 seconds ahead of Sparky Boomman in fourth place, who's got a bit of a gap on Badass. The battle right now is between these two drivers for fifth and sixth place, and Ghost Viper getting the job done on Badass. We're going to stick with this just for a few more seconds, make sure that there isn't a response move here, and there is. Badass taking a look. Not going to get the job done. Ghost Viper covering him off nicely there, getting great exit there, and he's going to move on up the road. So let's go take a look at that pass by Ghost Viper Gaming. Coming up this straightaway, gets inside, coming into corner one here. Side by side coming across that start-finish line. Ghost Viper having the optimal line coming into corner one here. Badass having to take this a little bit of a longer route. Still maintaining great speed though. And side by side coming around here. Badass just losing out just because he is forced to take that wider line, just losing a couple miles an hour on Ghost Viper there, and that's all it took for Ghost Viper to get that position. But Ghost Viper really outbraking Badass there, getting the job done coming in the next corner to maintain that P5 position. So great job by Ghost, still sitting in P5. So let's go back through our field. We got Spec 1 sitting in P1. That time is now down to 8/10. LJ is looking for that slipstream. Jake is also closing in now on these two. He shed 0.6 of a second off those two drivers. Sparky is losing a little bit of time to the top 3, but well ahead of the rest of the pack in behind. Ghost Viper and Badass battling for P5 and P6 here. I mean, we have several top split A rated drivers in the top of the field, all battling here. When you got that many high-end drivers in the field, boy oh boy, does it make for some good racing. Vic coming in with that big thumbs up. How you doing, Vic? We got Betcher in P8. ATB all the way back up into P9 there. He had a little bit of an incident in T2 there, but got it all sorted out. No big deal. We got Heathen in P10. And the Bandits pit crew just can't sort that car out, so... But the battle here is between Spec 1 and LJ currently on track. You see another 1/10 of a second drip down by LJ. 7 minutes remaining. Is Spec going to be able to hold LJ off? Is LJ going to be able to get the job done on Spec? Ooh, we're about to find out. Hey, what's up, Vic? I'm sure you're pretty happy seeing what you're seeing right now, my dude. GVG Jake chasing in P3, and again, still trying to close that gap up. It is tough when you have drivers that are all very equally paced, and when you're trying to make that time up in the last few minutes of the race, sometimes it's not easy to do. We're seeing that here right now. Sparky in P4, Ghost in P6, P5, Badass in P6 here. Badass losing just a little bit off of Ghost, but not enough to lose Ghost. He's still in that slipstream range. We see Nolander creeping. Nolander is creeping here up to these two drivers. So is Nolander thinking about a sneaky little move at the end of the race here, grab a couple positions. We got ATB, unfortunately picking up a penalty, but he's just going to burn that guy off right now and get rid of it. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming out. And Heathen in P10 here, so Heathen grabbing a position due to the disconnect on bar 27 and gutted for bar. He was having a great race too. He was doing really well. So yeah, gutted for bar. But, I mean, Spec 1 barely holding LJ off. We're talking about 4/10 here. It was 7/10, then it was 6, now it's 4. LJ is on the hunt, so LJ will be on the back end of Spec 1 here on this next long run. Here we go, coming into the start-finish line. Now, I guess the question is Spec going to defend here, or is he going to play a little bit of strategy, I guess? LJ didn't... Spec got a good run through that final corner because LJ actually didn't really gain any time on Spec at all there. So, again, equally paced drivers. Very difficult to make up that time. Sparky, a current standings leader. Actually, let's go through that here real quick. While we're at it, we'll go right through the order, and I'll tell you where these guys are sitting currently in the standings. We don't have them posted yet, ladies and gentlemen. They just haven't been released yet, but of course I did the math for our standings here today. So, first place overall is Sparky Boomman, sitting with 108 overall points, ladies and gentlemen. Followed in second place by Ghost Viper 26, and a very close behind with 106 points. In third place is our returning champion, GVG Jake, and he's there with 104 points. So our top 3 drivers separated only by 4 points in the standings currently. We have Badass sitting now up into P4 with 100 points. We got Spec 1 sitting in P5. He missed last week's race, so that did sting a little bit for Spec 1, but sitting there with 82 points, so he's not out of this fight yet. And then we have Nolander as well, sitting with 66. We got Vegas Paul sitting with 64. We got Betcher sitting also with 64. Vegas Paul and Betcher are tied for P6 currently. We have Barr sitting in P9 with 62. LJ sitting P10 with 60. ATB sitting in P11 with 40. Heathen sitting in P12 with 38 points. Superman in P13 sitting with 36, and Bandit sitting in P14 with 20. So that is how they shake out currently coming into round 5. QG and Badass having a great battle. They really, really are. So we got Badass and Ghost Viper here in P5 and P6, ladies and gentlemen. And these two have just been battling hard for about the last 5 laps now. And I do not suspect that this battle is done between these two drivers either. As you can see, Ghost closing up here. We're just taking a look to see where the rest of our drivers are here. And the battle looks like it's going to be between P1 and P2 and P5 and P6. 3 3 minutes remaining. We got 2 laps remaining, ladies and gentlemen. This is the penultimate lap for these drivers here right now, as it's about 2 minutes a lap around the racetrack. So, oop, sorry Sparky, we skipped Sparky here in P4. Moving through the Badass to P5, Ghost in P6. Got Nolander here in P7, Betcher in P8, ATB in P9, and again, he's in P10. Back to our leaders. LJ closing the gap. 0.2 of a second. 0.3. Spec getting a good run coming up Bridge Hill here, actually opening the time a little bit, but LJ in that slipstream, so he is going to start closing back in on our race leader. We are going to stick with this battle, ladies and gentlemen. Spec 1, a nose hair ahead of LJSuperninja currently on the racetrack, as LJ's just got a face full of Beavis and Butthead right now, and trying to make Beavis and Butthead be looking behind him. What a great battle these two are having. Let's get on board with Spec 1 here and take a little peek-see from the rear wing of what this is looking like here. LJ's going to take a look. LJ had a little bit of a better run there, it seemed like, than Spec. LJ's going to grab the lead from Spec, ladies and gentlemen. So LJ taking the race lead with 2 minutes. Oh, but LJ goes wide. LJ goes wide. That's going to give Spec the lead back. Spec taking it back. Oh, great move by LJ. Makes a mistake. Spec 1 taking advantage, getting the lead back. Let's go take a look at that again, shall we? Oh, super unfortunate for LJ. Great move there by the driver, too. So let's take a look. This is the replay, ladies and gentlemen. This was the move by LJ. Got that inside line. Just going out real wide, sweeping, and just got a little too much curb there and just got into the grass. And I mean, just great recovery by LJ, but Spec 1 good to take that race lead back. So, Spec 1 up the road. Final lap, ladies and gentlemen. Can Spec 1 hold LJ off? We're about to find out. Currently, Spec 1 has a 1.3 second lead. Let's go through our field real quick. Let's go see what else is going on. Jake has closed up on those two drivers. Sparky Boomman in P4. Ghost in P5. Badass right there in P6. So Ghost has gotten around Badass here just recently as well. Nolander still chasing those guys down there in P7 and closing. Betcher in P8, ATB P9, Heathen in P10. So Spec up the road. A little mistake made by LJ after a great pass made by LJ. And Spec jumped on it and just absolutely trying to now drive away with this race win here. So are we going to see our second top of the podium for Spec 1 this season? And he needs it today after missing last week's race. These points, he definitely wants these points. Paul coming in with a big juicy heart on stream as well. Much love, Paul. Appreciate you, my guy. So Spec 1 halfway around, ladies and gentlemen. We're halfway around this racetrack. We're coming into the final half of the racetrack, final lap of the race. This is it. LJ is trying everything he can do to catch up, but again, equally paced drivers, it is so hard to make up time. LJ spent the whole final stint just setting that move up and just made a small mistake there. Spec is no slouch of a race car driver either, ladies and gentlemen. All our drivers in the field this season are absolutely just crazy fast race car drivers. And they're all very, very smart race car drivers. And we've been seeing it all season long. No different here tonight. We've had great side-by-side racing very early on in the race, throughout the middle of the race. Great battles here at the end of the race as well. You see Badass is doing everything he can to catch up to Ghost Viper here. But, final corner. Coming around the final quarter, and your race winner tonight, ladies and gentlemen, round 5, Croix B, is going to be Rockefeller Racing's Spec 1. LJ coming in a very close second place, and GVG Jake right there in P3, ladies and gentlemen. Sparky Boomman just behind these guys. He's going to come across with a P4 finish. Great solid finish for Sparky here today. Ghost Viper 26 coming around, Badass in tow, Nolander in tow. Final corner. Ghost Viper 26 going to take P5 on the night, ladies and gentlemen. Great finish by Ghost. Badass coming across, P6. Nolander coming across. Woo, big old skid out for the fans. Oh yeah. P7, ladies and gentlemen. We see Heathen coming across there in P10 just a little bit earlier. My apologies, Heathen. We did not realize you were about to cross. We got Betcher coming across. A nice solid P8 finish here for Betcher today as well. And our man ATB coming through in P9. A little bit of a rough day for him today, but he did a really great job of coming back. So Yeah, there we have it, man. Great job by all the drivers. GG's, everyone. Great battles. RR double podium. Hey, hey. There's plenty of time for us to chill with ATB. Let him get his final lap in. There's no worries. He'll get across that start-finish line before that timer runs out. We set it up to make sure these drivers get that final lap in for you guys. And there we go. ATB coming around in P9. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Round 5. That's the midway point of our season. The drivers have been voting all week long for the Sportsmanship of the Award vote, so we'll let you guys know at the beginning of next week's race who got the bonus 5 points for the Sportsmanship Award in Round 5. And, of course, we'll have all the standings and everything updated for everybody on time this week. But, ooh, dang. No, I'm going to miss my shot. Excellent. Woo, that was close. So congratulations to Spec 1. So unofficial race results, ladies and gentlemen. We have RR Spec 1 finishing in P1. We have RR LJSuperninja finishing in P2. We have GG Jake 2309 finishing in P3. Again, defending champion from Season 1. Sparky Boomman, who is our current leader in the standings, P4 finish today. We have Ghost Viper 26 with P5 finish. We have Badass in P6. Nolander in P7, Betcher in P8, ATB in P9, Heathen in P10, Bandit with a DNF, and Bar 27 unfortunately disconnecting from the race about a little, I would say about 2/3 of the way through. Having a fantastic race, so super gutted for my man Bar, and he'll shake it off. He'll be back next week. And he'll be flying. That I can promise you. But fastest lap does belong to GVG Jake. So bonus 2 points for Jake. They're very, very big 2 points as well, ladies and gentlemen. So, with that being said, gotta take a picture. Gotta have evidence, you know. Just gotta have it. Replay. Check. Alright, so we are going to do some podium interviews, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to flip over to this podium interview screen. We're going to set the race lobby for next week's race for these guys. So they have lobby settings, because that's what we do week in and week out. We want to make sure that the drivers have everything they need. As quickly as possible so they can get as much of that juicy practice in as we can. So we got Suzuka 1545 fine weather. I'm just gonna let these guys know we're gonna save the replays and I'm gonna switch the settings over. Suzuka next week. So round 6, we're heading to Suzuka, ladies and gentlemen. And we all know Suzuka can be really, really nice to you or really, really mean to you. So, yeah. That's where we're at next week. Mandatory tire for that is going to be the hard tire next week as well. So, should be interesting. Nope, that wasn't round 4 either. Can't work my controller today. And then we'll jump right over into those podium interviews. We may not have Jake for podium interview tonight, obviously because it's like 2 or 3 in the morning for the guys over in the UK. So let's jump in there and see what we got. We're just going
to wide
I can't really hear him at all.
Me either.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We got our drivers with us, and well, we're gonna do what we do every week. We're gonna do the podium interviews, see what they have to say, tell us a little bit insight about St. Croix B, and it was some great racing tonight by the drivers right from first all the way through the field. Great battles, side-by-side battles all the way through. So just a fantastic race all in general, and I kind of figured it would be. So St. Croix B provides great side-by-side racing all the time, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to move over to our third place finisher, who is our defending champion from Season 1, GG Jake, and getting back on that podium, my man. So congratulations, and how are you feeling with that podium finish tonight?
Not too bad, not too bad. Spec had the better strategy. Coming in early on the hards, getting the undercut nice and quick out lap before we could get the softs on. But yeah, it wasn't too bad of a race from my point of view. I made up a couple of positions at the start and then got jammed with battles for about the first quarter of the race. Went 3 wide through the S's with Ghost and Spec, which I didn't even think it would go 2 wide through. So yeah, it was a fun race. Wish I could have done better.
Well, you found yourself back on the podium. You got ahead of a couple of the guys that you're chasing in the standings, and you took that fastest lap point here tonight for an extra 2 points for yourself as well.
Oh, did I?
You did get it, yes.
Oh, nice.
So, I mean, from first to third place, which is Sparky, Ghost, and yourself, is literally a 4-point difference coming into this round. So the standings are just going to continue to tighten up, and the battles are just going to continue to get more intense here, I think, as we progress this season. They're getting close. It was a good race. You kept yourself out of trouble pretty good this race. You didn't. Last race we just seen you making a little bit of mistakes, pushing too hard, and we've seen this race you were just focusing on making sure you were hitting the right marks and getting the right break points, turners, and you had a really good race. What was going through your mind when you were trying to catch Spec and Superninja in the last, say, 15 minutes there, when you just... Because we know it's hard to catch up to a driver who's on similar pace. So what was going through your mind
there? I mean, second stint I was just trying to save as much fuel as I could while putting the laps down. I think that's when I set the fastest lap, but I was trying to do that so I could fuel less in my last stop. It worked slightly, brought the gap down from about 7 and 8 seconds to about 4 seconds to Spec. And I just tried to push it, but some of his lines, he had better exits than me. Him and LJ just game constantly.
Absolutely. I mean, you got so many drivers at a similar pace. It's very, very hard to make those tenths of seconds up, especially when you're running out of time. But again, nonetheless, great drive by yourself. And can't wait to see what you're bringing to us at Suzuka next week. How you feel about Suzuka?
I like the track. Let's see how the cars go there.
Whoever has the stream running in the background, turn it off. That's what I'm hearing from chat. Okay. Alright, well, nonetheless, congratulations, Jake. Great finish. And obviously we'll let you go because we know it's super late where you're at. And shoutouts, my
guy. You, obviously, for hosting this, Dmj and Apex Racing. GG's to the top 2 as well.
Absolutely, and great job, and see you next week, my man. Have yourself a wonderful evening.
Oh yeah.
Alright, so here we go. We're going to go talk to the teammates here. We're going to go talk to the Rockefeller boys as they finish first and second here, but we are going to talk with LJSuperninja first. Now, last week LJ came in the second race of the season for himself. He took that fastest lap, he took that pole position, and he took that race win. Obviously, he wasn't able to come in and clean sweep like that this week due to the circumstances of the race with the reverse grid based off the standings. But coming in later into the season, I actually put him in a pretty good position on the starting grid and set him up pretty good here for a good race here today. So first of all, congratulations on P2, and really great race that you and Spec were having there. And not to reflect and rub it in a little bit, because I'm sure you're probably not happy about it, but you made such a great move on Spec there with about 2 minutes remaining and just got a little bit wide, making a little bit of a mistake there. Was that just a miscue, or did you think that maybe Spec was just going to bump into you a little bit there?
No, so with the very old tires, they're starting to get like pretty pushy, like understeery wise. So my normal line, like the racing line, is go outside, hit the apex, float out wide, and it's fine with those tires. But when I did the inside line, it just pushed me out wide too much, and I'm like, in my mindset, I was still thinking I have good tires. It just didn't grip, and I just started floating wide and understeered out.
You did a really great job to keep the car together. You're getting into the grass like that. You didn't lose control of the car. You lost a little bit of time, but you didn't lose control of the car. So with all that being said, obviously great run for P2. You had great pace all night, and I did notice that when you made your second stop here in the race as well, I could tell that your goal was to try and get out either ahead of Spec or come out right behind him. And when you did come out of pit lane, it was you were right there on him in the T1. Was that what the goal was when you made that second pit stop?
So coming into this, there was a few pit strategies in mind, but at Barcelona I used the overcut strategy and I liked it really well. So I tried to use the same thing here, and it sort of worked, but he just had that overall pace on the in-lap and out-lap.
Oh, there we go. LJ is just a young man, ladies and gentlemen. He's still a high school student. He has got incredible pace in racecraft, so it's fantastic to see him back into Season 2 here, and a great P2 finish. You bump him back up in the standings a little bit here. Right now, currently, LJ, you're sitting in P10 only after 2 races, and again, strong points here for you tonight, so you should probably gain a position or two as after this round here as well. So keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep that hard practicing, and you could find yourself on that podium by the end of the season. You just never know.
Alright, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, I know you're a competitor. I know you're definitely going to push for it, so we look forward to seeing what you bring coming into the final 5 rounds of the season here. Shoutouts, my guy. Shoutouts.
Big thanks for Nolander for the livery. He made me too, so massive thanks to him, and of course you for the comms and setting up everything. It takes a lot of work to get it all done, and DMJ for the league, and Rockefeller Racing for the team, and of course Spec for kind of carrying me along. I used him as like a little ghost to try to keep pushing and not lose focus.
Well, there we go. See, competitors on track, teammates outside of this particular series, but still using a little bit of teammate mentality there. So love to see that. Absolutely great job. And again, congratulations. And I'm sure that we're going to see you battling for those top positions again next week at Suzuka. How do you feel about Suzuka?
Yeah, I love the track. It's one of my favorite tracks. Compared to Spa, it's amazing. Like, I'm very looking forward to it.
Oh,
like last season with the Group 4 McLarens, I was enjoying it, so I'm going to put in a little extra practice this week, just try to get the edge on everyone, because this is definitely a good track.
There we go. There you heard it, ladies and gentlemen. LJ is definitely looking for a race win next week on one of his favorite tracks here in Gran Turismo Sports, so should be exciting to watch. And congratulations, man. And just much love to you again. Thank you for the massive donation on the page earlier this morning, and just a huge shout out to you, man.
Thank you.
And our race winner, ladies and gentlemen, second race win of the season is Rockefeller Racing's Spec 1. So congratulations, man. I know because you missed last week's race, you definitely wanted a really good result here tonight, and you got it. So talk us through it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I guess it translated a little bit differently into the race from practice. Obviously, running isolated laps, and then we ran a couple sprints. But man, that race, I was second guessing every move I made just because it was an all-out brawl for that first stint between me, Jake, and Ghost Viper. It was going, man, they had great pace, amazing pace, really, but it was one of those I couldn't get myself to settle into the car and on the track. So that's where the early pit stop came, because I knew I just needed to get separation, because I could not for the life of me get settled in. So yeah.
So once you got that separation, you kind of got into some clean air, you kind of had a little bit of space. Was that kind of when you settled into the car then?
Yeah, yep. I had some brake issues. Every time I'd pit, I'd have to recalibrate my pedals because the brake would go out. But yeah, that was the idea, and it helped quite a bit. But then I was on the fence of whether to push the car hard or just still sit back with that same mindset I started the race with, would conserve it as much as possible, because I knew my last stint was going to be the long one. And when I passed LJ coming out of the pits and I knew I was going 9 laps, I go, man, I think I think I'm screwed. There's no other way to put it. I thought for sure I was screwed, and he was going to be on a lap. You know, on that track, 1 lap is probably closer to 2 laps on some other tracks. So I knew I was going to be on way older tires, but it paid off by luck. But yeah, he did not make it easy at all on me.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And LJ spent a lot of time setting that particular move up when he attempted that move on the second last lap there. And unfortunately for him, the car, as you said, just drifted a little bit wide, and that gave you that extra breathing room there to get that gap you needed and bring it home. So.
Yep. Yeah, I could feel him. I could feel his eyes on the back of my neck, and I just tried to stay eyes forward, head down, but every once in a while I'd peek back there and he was there, so I was waiting. I knew it would be a matter of time before he made his move, so.
Well, congratulations, man. It was a really great race, and as always, you're very calculated, you're very strategic. Now, was that kind of your plan coming into the race with your pit strategy, or was that something that you adjusted on the fly just based off the race condition?
A little bit of both. I knew I was comfortable on the hards for the long haul, but I didn't know how long I wanted to be on them. I was playing around with anywhere from 6 to 9 laps, and then when I realized that with Jake and Ghost Viper that it was just an all-out fist fight, and I was like, I got to get that separation, otherwise I'm never catching the front. So that was when I pulled the trigger and decided to go in on lap 7.
Well, the call of the day definitely belongs to you. There is the pitch strategy definitely paid off for you here today, and again, just a great race finish. So shoutouts, my guy.
Of course, you, Rockefeller Racing, and I gotta do it because I told him I would. LJ for the track guide. Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Remember that.
Thank you.
Remember that. GG's,
yep.
Nick.
Yeah, and just all the guys in the series. It's been a complete blast to watch all the guys out there running. They show up. Nobody complains. Everybody runs hard. Everybody's improving. Everybody just all around, whether it be strategy, everybody's becoming such a smarter, better all-around driver.
Absolutely, and we see it in all the drivers, it's returning drivers and the new drivers from one race to the next one. You can see the progression. You can see the pace picking up on the next guy that's just a little bit faster than them, right? So it is beautiful, and I mean that's a huge contribution because of you guys. You know, all you drivers, LJ, Jake, Badass, yourself, you guys step in and you help the other guys out with track guides, braking points, strategies, you know, and as a community, you guys develop what we see here on screen, and it's absolutely fantastic, and we really do appreciate all the effort that the drivers also put in to put on such great races that they put on. And I mean, it's not just because they want to put on a show, ladies and gentlemen. These guys want to win a championship. And you can see it this season. A lot of these drivers are hungry for it, and it has produced amazing battling all season long. And I don't suspect that's going to stop. So, congratulations again, Spec Man. Huge race win for you. I know you needed that one. And it'd be interesting to see how the standings shake up after this week. It is really going to tighten up from about the top, probably 6-7 drivers. So, that's really going to make for some great racing. How do you feel about Suzuka?
Oh, bring it on. Let's do this.
Oh, there we go. So, yeah, our top 3 guys are feeling pretty cozy with next week's track. So, I'm sure the other drivers are paying attention to that. And I bet you these guys are going to be well practiced coming into next week. Should be a good race. So, congratulations, guys. And feel free to talk freely. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, there we have it. GG's Gentleman says Joe. GG says Nick. Feedback. Yeah, thank you for the heads up too, Joe. I could hear it as well. I just didn't dawn on me where it was coming from. Appreciate it, my guy. Top admin right there, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Joe. Appreciate you, my guy. So, tough race for some drivers here tonight, but overall, man, race recap, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, man, where do we start? No qualifying tonight. It was reverse grid based off championship standings. So our first place leader in the standings ended up starting at the back, and vice versa all the way through the field. So we were missing a couple drivers here tonight. We had one driver have some issues. He had to retire out early. We had one driver disconnect. Super unfortunate, as we don't give points for disconnects this season. It's something that is a concern about the drivers, and it's something that we may talk about in the future, of course, but for now that's the way it is. So the drivers understand that. He'll be back next week, and he'll be back even more hungrier to make up points, and of course just try to grab the best position that he can. Barr's a great racer, so he'll be back, and he'll be back in full form like he always is. I mean, where do we start? You know, we had reverse grid. We had our guys that were probably a little bit nervous at the front of the pack there tonight, starting up front with all the leaders sitting in behind them. I know as a racer that plays on you a little bit. It plays on the nerves, you know. And again, just round 5, perfect race start. You know, no false start checks. We had no incidents. All the drivers made it through T1, 2, 3. We've seen amazing side-by-side racing probably for the first 2 laps. We've seen a 3-wide battle going up into the bridge hill. You don't see that. And these guys survive. The skill level that these drivers have this season is mind-boggling. And it's going to make for an absolutely epic final half of the season, ladies and gentlemen. I lose sleep at night as I get closer to Tuesdays, just wondering what these guys are going to do next. You know, what are they going to show next? What odds are they going to defy for us this time? And I think the move of the day today, ladies and gentlemen, really does belong to Badass. Making that beautiful outside move very early on in the race there. Not at all an easy pass to do, going into a very tough corner on, I believe it was Ghost Viper. And then Sparky Boomman following him through. It might have been, I can't remember who it was, but great pass. We're going to definitely clip that out of the replay and put that in the highlight reel for Season 2. It was a beautiful pass. So the move of the day definitely belongs to Apex Racing's Badass. It is not easy to make a pass on the outside of any racetrack. So, and I mean, he did it with authority. So it was very well thought out and planned, and he made it work, and it was great, because I mean, Sparky Boomman got to follow him through in the process, coming into the next corner on the inside line. So great job by all the drivers on track. I mean, we've seen 2x2 battles all through the race, and I'm not talking nose to tail. I'm talking 2x2 for like half a lap, a full lap. Like, it doesn't get any better than that, ladies and gentlemen. We asked for good, clean racing from the drivers, and man, have they provided it this season. I am so thankful for it. And what a great race today. What a great stream. It's great to be back. It's great to be live. It's great to see everything is running beautifully. And again, I haven't even added to the upgrades into the stream yet, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't have time today, so we did outsource the issue from yesterday's test stream. Thank goodness. We've got it working beautifully again, like I said. We're going to add some upgrades to it yet, and probably pop it into 1080p for you guys, because we know she can take it. So hopefully we get that 1080p up by the end of the week. I mean, what do we say? We're also supporting MacMillan Cancer Support, ladies and gentlemen. I keep forgetting to mention that throughout the broadcast. I really got to get on that. Much love to MacMillan Cancer Support, guys. These guys are a cancer organization in the United Kingdom, and they're there for families through all parts of the cancer process, good or bad. They're there to support. They're there to help with whatever they need: traveling costs, hotels, hospital visits, staging, treatments, everything in between and all above and below. So if you're able, or you have donated this year to MacMillan Cancer Support, we appreciate it. And if you can't, we understand. Just being here, hanging out, watching the races, cheering on your favorite race car driver is more than enough support, obviously. But if you can go above and do a little bit more, we appreciate it. And UK Cancer Support appreciates it, and all those families that money's going to definitely appreciate it. So there is that, ladies and gentlemen. Like every broadcast for DMJ, MacMillan Cancer Support, that's our go-to here. We love MacMillan Cancer Support here at DMJ, GT45 Gaming, and appreciate everybody who has lent support in the past and moving forward into the future. So there is that. A great race. We are at Suzuka next week, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be a regular race next week. It'll be our normal 15-minute qualifier with a 40-minute endurance race. The drivers are required to use the hard tires next week, and the pit window ends at lap 3 next week. A little different than what we're normally used to seeing at the end of lap 4 and 5. So we've heard our top podium finishers this week say they love Suzuka. So the rest of the guys, we don't know how they feel about Suzuka because we haven't asked, but it's going to provide some interesting racing. Oh, it's going to be good. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be action-filled. It's going to be sweaty. It's going to be hot. I'm going to lose my voice. It's going to be fantastic. So definitely don't forget to tune in next week. Round 6, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, ladies and gentlemen. DMJ's back. I am your boy, Ghost45. I absolutely appreciate all your support. Thank you for being here. Thanks for waiting for us to get all sorted out, get moved, get resituated, and continue bringing amazing content to all you amazing people worldwide. We really do appreciate it. I was really worried when I shut the page down for so long, I was so inactive that the community would stray away, but not a chance, man. This is a special community. You guys are absolutely top level. Appreciate support, and I'm here for you guys. We're here, we're back, and we'll see you tomorrow for ACC Round 4, ladies. Round 5 multi-class ACC racing tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get back on track on ACC and get back to our series, so that's going to be interesting. We're going to have, I believe Nolander is going to be commentating, as well as Rockefeller Racing's Catch is going to be commentating this race tomorrow for ACC as well, so it should be quite interesting. And Nolander Gaming, of course, in our DMJ series here, much love. We got an up-and-coming commentator here. He does a beautiful job, and the first chance we get to get him in the booth here with us for DMJ race, oh, we're going to have him in the booth. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we really appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. We're going to shut the stream downtown tonight. I want to get all the upgrades and stuff into the stream here before tomorrow, so it's going to take a little bit of time. And happy birthday, Eve LJ. Oh, thank you. I did not know, Jojo. Top admin, baby. He's got my back. I love it. Love it. All right, so LJ's birthday tomorrow. So what better way than a win? Than a juicy race win. Let's see if we can get one on ACC tomorrow now. All right, so you guys, huge shout out, of course. I mean, none of this is possible here in North America without DMJ Vroom Room. They're the provider of the series. This is their baby. This is their brainchild. And we've been very fortunate to be able to present this on behalf of DMJ Vroom Room here at GT45 Gaming. And of course, DMJ Vroom Room partners are LWR Designs, GT Omega Racing, Fanatec, DDR, D-Dot Racing, ladies and gentlemen, the other amazing broadcaster over on the United Kingdom side of DMJ. He hosts all their events over there, and just absolutely fantastic, epic series that these guys have just continued to present us and provide us. So big shout out, of course, to all those guys. None of this is possible without them, and of course, none of that is possible without all you guys, the fans. So thank you to you guys, the fans, the viewers, the community, for coming out week in and week out and showing that support and showing that love, because without you guys, we don't have anything to put on. You guys are the driving force behind everything we do here at GT45 Gaming, DMJ Vroom Room. So just keep on keeping on, keep on practicing, keep on turning those laps, ladies and gentlemen, and watch out for next registration for the next DMJ event, because we want to see you there, and we want to see DMJ on your cars. We love you. Stay winning, everybody. Take care.